Hey, brother, can I pray for you real quick?
Hell yeah.
All right. Heavenly Father God, I pray for Kodak God.
This man went from dropping platinum records and getting major Drake cosigns to having random people stop him in public just to pray for him like they thought he was fading away for real. Fans watched Yak spiral through addiction struggles, public breakdowns, court problems, and moments that had people seriously wondering if he would ever be the same again.
Y'all pray for Kodak.
Every time he popped up online, the internet had a new reason to worry, and the clips just kept getting more uncomfortable to watch. One of the wildest moments happened when Kodak Black appeared on Cenat's Mafiathon 2 Twitch stream in November 2024. People were already waiting for hours for him to show up, but nobody expected the chaos that followed the second he stepped in front of the camera. Something instantly felt strange about his behavior. Yak was talking in circles, barely making sense, jumping around with frantic energy, tearing his shirt off out of nowhere, and struggling to get through a freestyle without losing his train of thought. Then came the random comments that confused everybody watching because they had nothing to do with the stream at all. Even Cenat looked completely caught off guard, like he was trying to figure out what was happening in real time.
3 hours for bro to come out and does this.
That moment pretty much captured how everybody watching felt. Fans flooded the livestream chat with panic, prayers, and non-stop messages begging somebody around Kodak to check on him before things got even worse. The whole internet reacted in real time, and clips from the stream exploded across social media within minutes. One viral reaction video especially had people talking because of how serious and disturbing the situation looked to viewers watching closely.
But not this bad.
It was bad.
And honestly, the chaos did not stop there. Commentary channels and fans kept breaking down the stream piece by piece, pointing out just how uncomfortable the entire scene felt from start to finish.
The super gremlin rapper appeared visibly high as a giraffe's nostrils. And his bizarre behavior throughout the stream, Austin left high looking like a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
People online were saying Kodak looked completely out of it, and the concern only kept growing as more clips spread everywhere. One moment especially had the internet stunned. Kodak reached into his pocket, pulled out what looked like a white pill, tossed it into the air like a trick shot, caught it in his mouth, and then suddenly dropped down to the floor right after. The room instantly changed energy. Cenat froze up, the music stopped, and the stream got awkwardly quiet within seconds. When somebody asked Kodak what just happened, he brushed it off casually like nothing serious even happened at all, which only made viewers more shaken by the whole thing.
That was a glitch for the Twitch. This song was doing.
A glitch for the Twitch. That was Kodak's response after viewers believed they saw him take a Percocet during a live stream in front of hundreds of thousands of people watching online. He acted like the whole thing was no big deal at all, almost like somebody just knocked over a camera by accident, instead of causing a massive internet storm. The clip spread everywhere within hours and quickly turned into one of the biggest hip-hop moments online that year. Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter comment sections filled up with worried fans, shocked reactions, and non-stop debates about Yak's condition. People were posting comments like, "He needs rehab immediately. This is genuinely sad to watch," and to Team Dalo and Sagan, "The world needs to pray for Yak before it is too late." The concern online was intense, and even longtime supporters admitted they were disturbed by what they saw, but Kodak was not trying to hear any of that criticism. The very next day, he jumped on Instagram Live and pushed back hard against everybody talking about him. He told viewers that people were overreacting and claimed folks only criticized him because they never liked him to begin with. Yak sounded more irritated than concerned, which only made the situation feel even heavier to fans already worried about him. Then things got even more controversial. During that same livestream, viewers believed Kodak appeared to take another pill on camera, almost like he was trying to prove a point to everybody watching, while fans online kept begging him to slow down and take care of himself. Yak seemed determined to brush off every warning completely. And for many people, that Cenat stream was not the beginning of the concern. It was just the latest chapter in a long string of alarming moments surrounding him. 3 months before the Cenat stream back in August 2024, Kodak Black posted a message on Instagram that hit fans way harder than any viral clip or crazy livestream moment ever could. There was no music, no jokes, no cameras in his face, just a few emotional lines written on his story that instantly got people worried about his mental state. Kodak wrote that he finally realized nobody cared about him unless money was involved and admitted that he felt lonely out there. The post spread fast because fans could tell this was not promo or internet drama. It sounded personal, vulnerable, and painfully real. Seeing somebody with fame, money, and millions of supporters publicly admit he still felt empty shocked a lot of people online. Comment sections quickly filled with support, concern, and emotional reactions from fans trying to encourage him. Some people wrote that the little boy inside him is hurting, while others said the post proved that money and celebrity status do not automatically bring peace or happiness. Instead of turning the moment into jokes or memes, many fans treated it seriously because they felt like Yak was crying out for help in his own way. And the concern did not disappear after that post. Throughout 2025 and into early 2026, viewers kept pointing out live streams where Kodak appeared exhausted, emotionally drained, unfocused, or difficult to follow. Some clips showed him sitting silently for long stretches while staring into the camera or scrolling on his phone without saying a word, which left fans deeply unsettled. Other moments showed his mood changing rapidly within seconds, going from laughing to visibly frustrated or emotional almost instantly. Soon, compilation videos started flooding social media with titles openly questioning Kodak's condition, and the comment sections became packed with worried fans saying they feared they were watching somebody struggle in real time right in front of the internet. Then came the moment that hit the internet harder than almost anything fans had seen from Kodak before. In May 2025, during another emotional Instagram live, somebody in the comments brought up the drama involving his relationship with his child's mother, Miranda Johnson, and Yak completely broke down on camera. This was not yelling, fake rage, or another viral outburst. Fans watched him cry openly in a way that felt deeply personal and difficult to ignore. His voice cracked as he admitted to viewers that he felt like he had never truly experienced real love in his life. The emotion on his face caught people off guard because there was no attempt to hide it or laugh it off afterward. Midstream, Kodak climbed into bed while still talking to fans, visibly emotional as thousands of people watched the moment unfold live online. The clips spread across social media almost immediately, and YouTube channels started reposting the footage within hours. The reactions online were intense. Comment sections filled up with people saying things like, "This man desperately needs somebody real in his corner," while others said the live stream felt heartbreaking to watch because Kodak looked emotionally exhausted and overwhelmed. Even people who usually joked about his behavior admitted this moment felt different and far more serious than his past internet controversies. What made everything even heavier was the public drama happening around him at the same time. His ex, Miranda Johnson, had publicly accused him of not being present as a father and made other serious claims, while Kodak's legal team strongly denied the accusations and called them false and defamatory. The entire situation turned into a messy public battle playing out across social media, blogs, and headlines for everybody to watch unfold in real time. Instead of stepping away from the spotlight, Kodak seemed to become even more emotionally exposed online. There was no polished PR statement, no carefully planned interview, and no attempt to smooth things over. Fans saw a man sitting in front of millions of viewers admitting he felt unloved, and the internet reacted with complete shock. But even that emotional livestream was not the moment that worried people the most, because another incident caught in public would soon leave fans even more disturbed. Then another moment happened that completely shifted the conversation around Kodak Black. A random fan approached Yak in public and asked if he could pray for him right there on the spot. Instead of brushing the guy off or walking away, Kodak stood there quietly and allowed it to happen in front of everybody watching. The fan placed his hands on Kodak and prayed for his protection, his peace, better people around him, and guidance for whatever battles he was dealing with behind the scenes.
Pray that you just guide him in this walk, God. I pray that you just grow his heart more and closer to you, God. I pray that you give him a fire, God. A fire for you, God. A fire to read your word, God. I thank you for this amazing encounter, God.
And once the prayer ended, Kodak's reaction spoke louder than anything he could have said himself.
Amen. Hallelujah. Yahweh to you, sir, brother. Father. Damn. Let me get a hug, bro.
The moment instantly spread across social media and touched people in a totally different way compared to the usual viral drama clips. This was not internet jokes, live stream chaos, or another headline built around controversy. People saw a complete stranger look at a famous rapper and feel enough concern to stop in the middle of the street and pray over him publicly. That alone hit a nerve with fans everywhere. Comment sections filled with amen, prayers, emotional messages, and people asking how things had gotten this serious for Yak in the first place. Kodak's response to all the concern has gone back and forth over time. Sometimes he pushed back hard against critics, saying he stopped getting high a long time ago and did not owe the internet explanations about his personal life. He also said he did not reach this level of success by being careless and believed only the people truly close to him deserved answers about what he was going through. At times, Kodak pushed people away and acted like the criticism did not bother him at all. Other times, he opened up completely, like during the emotional Instagram posts and tearful live streams that left fans stunned. Those two sides of Yak seemed to exist at the exact same time, and supporters never really knew which version of him they were going to see online from one day to the next. But one thing almost everybody agreed on was that Kodak appeared to be fighting something much deeper behind the scenes. The emotional breakdowns, loneliness, and public meltdowns seemed connected to a much bigger struggle that had reportedly been building for years. And according to Kodak himself, substance dependency became one of the darkest battles of his life. During interviews and appearances throughout 2024, Kodak spoke openly about how severe his Percocet addiction had allegedly become at its worst point. He claimed there were times when he was taking dozens of pills a day, and on the heaviest days, the number became dangerously extreme. Fans were shocked hearing him describe how serious things had gotten because the details sounded genuinely life-threatening. Kodak also talked about how dangerous the situation became, with counterfeit pills and fentanyl concerns spreading everywhere. He admitted he felt lucky to still be alive after periods of heavy use, and warned fans not to follow the same path he did. The way he spoke about it did not come across like bragging or trying to look reckless. Instead, many viewers felt like they were hearing somebody reflect on years of damage and regret in real time. According to Kodak, the addiction battle intensified after he was shot in the leg outside a Super Bowl after party hosted by Justin Bieber in February 2022. He explained that doctors prescribed oxycodone for pain management afterward, but what began as legitimate medical treatment slowly turned into dependency. From there, the situation reportedly spiraled far beyond what anybody around him expected, eventually becoming one of the biggest struggles tied to his public image and personal life. But people familiar with the situation say those struggles were already building long before the 2022 incident ever happened. Kodak had been referencing lean, pills, and substance use in his music for years, and many fans believe those struggles were already becoming part of his lifestyle long before things turned public. Some reports also suggested his time in federal prison may have made those personal battles even harder to manage afterward. Then by December 2023, everything exploded into headlines in a major way. Police in Plantation, Florida reportedly found Kodak asleep behind the wheel of a Bentley, creating one of the most talked about incidents of his career. When officers approached the car, they allegedly noticed white powder around his mouth and inside the vehicle, immediately escalating the situation. According to police reports, Kodak attempted to swallow the substance while officers were interacting with him at the scene. Authorities later stated that residue was found both inside the car and around him during the arrest. Kodak reportedly told officers the substance involved Percocets, while early field testing reportedly suggested possible cocaine involvement. As a result, he faced charges connected to cocaine possession and tampering with the evidence. Things became even more intense once body camera footage from the arrest started spreading online. More than 2 hours of footage eventually made its way across social media, showing Kodak shirtless in the back of a patrol car while appearing visibly disoriented and exhausted. The clips instantly turned into viral discussion topics across hip-hop pages, YouTube channels, and blogs everywhere. Some fans reacted with heartbreak and concern, saying the footage was difficult to watch because Yak looked like somebody struggling badly behind the scenes. Others turned the situation into jokes and memes almost immediately, but no matter how people reacted, the images from that night became permanently attached to Kodak's public image and sparked even more worry about the direction his life seemed to be heading. After the arrest footage went viral, the public incidents just kept piling up around Kodak Black. Every few months, another clip would hit social media and send fans right back into panic mode over what they were seeing from Yak online. In July 2024, Kodak posted an Instagram video showing himself taking several pills on camera while casually joking that he was about to glitch. The way he spoke about it shocked viewers because he acted like the whole situation was completely normal. Fans immediately flooded the comments with concern, saying the video felt disturbing considering everything already surrounding his struggles and public behavior at the time. Then another controversial livestream sparked backlash in September 2025. Kodak went live on Instagram while driving on I-95 in Miami, shirtless and appearing to sip from a bottle through a straw while talking erratically during the stream. Viewers quickly became alarmed because he seemed distracted, emotionally scattered, and difficult to follow while driving on one of the busiest highways in South Florida. At one point during the live stream, Kodak started rambling about random topics like lectures and briefcases, leaving viewers even more confused about his state of mind. His attorney later claimed the bottle only contained juice or that the situation was meant as a joke, but many fans online were skeptical because of Kodak's history and the number of viral incidents already tied to him by that point. Then came another moment that reignited concern online. During a May 2025 freestyle on the Radar, Kodak referenced struggling with meth use in one of his bars, and the internet instantly exploded with reactions. Fans across social media could not believe what they had just heard and started debating whether he was being literal, exaggerating artistically, or trying to send a deeper message through the lyrics. The comment sections quickly turned serious, with many people asking why nobody around him seemed to be stepping in. Some listeners dismissed the line as rap exaggeration, but others felt the concern was impossible to ignore, considering Kodak's past admissions and public behavior. Months later, during an October 2025 livestream, Kodak addressed the controversy by saying he had experimented before but was not currently using, and felt people online were blowing the situation out of proportion just to criticize him further. Through all the chaos, viral moments, and public concern, Kodak Black also went through several attempts at rehab and recovery. One of the earliest big turning points happened in September 2021, when a judge reportedly sent him to a 90-day inpatient recovery program after he failed multiple substance screenings tied to the terms of his supervised release. By December 2021, the program was completed, and his legal team said the court was pleased with the progress he had made during treatment. After getting out, Kodak publicly told fans he was sober and focused on rebuilding his life. He talked about getting back to performing, making music, and moving differently moving forward. For a while, supporters genuinely believed Yak might finally be entering a healthier chapter after years of legal trouble and personal struggles. But that period reportedly did not last long. By February 2023, reports claimed Kodak had skipped a mandatory substance screening and later failed another test after fentanyl was allegedly detected. The news shocked fans because it came after months of public statements about recovery and staying clean. Soon after, a Broward County judge reportedly ordered him into another 30-day inpatient rehab program. What made the situation even more surprising was that Kodak was still allowed to perform at Rolling Loud, California before beginning treatment. A lot of people online questioned how somebody dealing with such serious issues could still be pushed toward major festival performances instead of immediately stepping away from the spotlight to focus fully on recovery. Then after the December 2023 arrest and plantation, Kodak once again addressed everything publicly during an emotional Instagram live. He admitted that his Percocet use had spiraled badly and said he personally spent around $350,000 on rehab because he wanted to improve his life for the sake of his children. Kodak emphasized that seeking help was his own decision and not simply something forced on him by the courts. For a brief moment, many fans thought he was finally starting to make a serious turn towards stability and recovery after years of turmoil. In April 2024, Kodak Black publicly celebrated what he described as major progress in his recovery journey. He told fans he felt happier than ever before and said he was finally taking his dependency issues seriously after years of struggles, legal problems, and emotional breakdowns. Supporters flooded his comments with encouragement, hoping this really marked the beginning of a healthier chapter for Yak. A few months later, in July 2024, Kodak continued speaking positively about his sobriety efforts. He claimed he was sober for the most part, said he could now go days without using anything, and admitted he was no longer afraid of facing life without relying on substances. For fans who had watched his ups and downs for years, those comments sounded like genuine growth and self-awareness. But then November 2024 changed the conversation instantly. Kodak's appearance on Cenat's livestream exploded across the internet, especially after the now viral moment where viewers believed they saw him toss a Percocet into his mouth on camera. Right after that stream, Kodak jumped on Instagram Live defending himself against the backlash, and suddenly all the rehab updates, sobriety posts, and recovery milestones got overshadowed by one chaotic viral clip. Then things became even more complicated later that same month. During another candid moment online, Kodak reportedly admitted to viewers that he was never sober, a statement that shocked fans who had been rooting for his recovery. Around the same period, an older conversation from his No Jumper interview with Adam 22 started circulating again because it gave people another glimpse into how concerning his behavior sometimes appeared. During that interview, Adam 22 brought up a previous appearance where Kodak had seemed heavily impaired and disconnected. As Adam described what viewers had witnessed, that the conversation became noticeably tense.
Like standing up suddenly in the middle of the interview and just kind of swaying back and forth. My brain, like the part of my brain that knows what it feels like to get up, was like, oh yeah, he's on a good one right there.
When asked directly about the incident, Kodak responded by saying he did not even remember it happening, which only deepened concern among fans already worried about how serious his struggles might actually be behind the scenes. The host kept pressing the issue, and one comment especially stuck with viewers.
Well, yeah, I mean, usually if you get loaded, it'll last a good 2 hours, right?
He basically pointed out that Kodak appearing visibly impaired during interviews had become so common that people were starting to treat it like a normal occurrence instead of something shocking anymore. That line hit hard because a lot of fans realized just how often these moments had been happening in public. Around the same time, Boosie Badazz was dealing with his own family struggles involving his son Tootie Raw and concerns surrounding lean use. Because of that, many people online started comparing Boosie's situation at home to what fans believed they were witnessing unfold publicly with Kodak Black. The similarities became difficult for people to ignore.
I feel disrespect every time you say something about me. I don't feel disrespect. That shit ain't nothing to me though. I don't.
Then things took another dramatic turn in March 2026 when Boosie publicly criticized Kodak and accused him of having serious substance issues. During his comments, Boosie claimed he personally saw Kodak allegedly using substances during a studio session and made several explosive accusations that quickly spread across blogs and social media, sparking another major wave of controversy around Yak's personal struggles and public image. Boosie did not hold back during the situation either. He repeatedly insulted Kodak publicly and even posted a warning telling him to slow down before somebody supposedly handed him something dangerous that could seriously harm him. The comments caught a lot of people off guard online because the music industry has already experienced several heartbreaking situations connected to dangerous substances and contaminated pills over the years. Fans immediately started debating whether Boosie was trying to help, embarrass him, or simply air out private concerns in public, and through all of it, the rehab cycle seemed to keep repeating itself. Every time Kodak appeared to be making progress or getting his life back under control, another controversy, setback, or alarming viral moment would pull him right back into public concern again. Supporters who had rooted for his recovery started feeling exhausted, watching the same pattern happen over and over, but the addiction struggles were only part of the storm surrounding Yak. Legal problems followed him almost from the very beginning of his rise in rap and became another major reason his career constantly felt unstable despite his massive talent and success. At times, it seemed like every breakthrough moment in music was immediately followed by another court case or arrest headline. Back in October 2015, just as Atlantic Records reportedly began showing serious interest in signing him, Kodak was arrested in Pompano Beach on charges connected to robbery, battery, kidnapping, and false imprisonment after authorities said he allegedly forced people into a vehicle during a dispute tied to a suspected break-in at his home. Then only 2 months later, he faced another arrest in St. Lucie County involving marijuana and paraphernalia charges. His music career was gaining momentum rapidly, but so were his legal troubles. Then came February 2016, when Kodak faced allegations in South Carolina following an incident connected to a hotel room after a performance. The case quickly became one of the most serious and controversial legal situations tied to his name, and would continue following him throughout the years that came after. In 2017, Kodak was formally indicted in South Carolina, and reports said he was facing the possibility of decades behind bars if convicted on the original charge. The case dragged through the court system for years, hanging over his career while his fame kept growing bigger and bigger. Then in 2021, Kodak accepted a plea deal involving first-degree assault and battery, receiving probation after the more severe original charge was dropped. That case changed the way many people in both the music industry and the public viewed him. During what should have been the peak years of building a nearly unstoppable rap legacy, Kodak instead found himself constantly tied to headlines about courtrooms, legal trouble, and controversy. No matter how big the music became, the legal shadow stayed right beside him. Between 2016 and 2018, the arrests and violations seemed non-stop. Kodak dealt with probation violations, issues connected to house arrest, disruptions during court-ordered programs, and multiple firearms-related charges. It felt like every few months another mugshot or legal update hit social media before fans even finished talking about the last one. Then in January 2018, authorities raided his home after an Instagram Live reportedly showed weapons and illegal substances visible in the background while a child was nearby. During the raid, police reportedly recovered a stolen firearm, ammunition, and marijuana, leading to additional charges including firearm possession by a convicted felon. Even though some charges were eventually dropped, the public damage had already been done, and the headlines spread everywhere online. But the biggest legal setback of Kodak's career came in 2019. Just before Rolling Loud Miami, federal agents arrested him on firearms charges connected to allegations that he provided false information on federal background check forms while attempting to purchase weapons. Reports later linked one of those weapons to a separate violent incident involving another artist, although Kodak himself was never charged in connection to that situation. He later pleaded guilty and received a 46-month federal prison sentence, removing him from the spotlight during one of hip-hop's biggest streaming eras and slowing down the momentum of his career at a critical time. While other rappers from Kodak's era were dominating streaming charts, stacking massive collaborations, and building unstoppable momentum, Yak was sitting in a federal prison in Kentucky, watching the industry move forward without him. The timing could not have been worse. Hip-hop was exploding online, careers were being made overnight, and Kodak was completely removed from the game during some of the biggest years for streaming and viral success. After spending roughly 10 months behind bars, Kodak caught a huge break in January 2021 when his federal sentence was officially shortened through presidential clemency. The decision came during the same round of clemency actions that included Lil Wayne's pardon and instantly became one of the biggest stories in hip-hop news at the time. Reports surrounding the commutation pointed to Kodak's charitable efforts and community work as part of the reason he was granted another opportunity most people in similar situations never receive. And for a moment, it really looked like Yak was about to fully capitalize on that second chance. He came home and quickly dropped Super Gremlin, which exploded into one of the biggest songs of his career, climbing to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and eventually earning multi-platinum success. Kodak also secured a new deal with Capitol Records, and fans started believing his comeback was officially complete. The momentum was real, the numbers were massive, and it seemed like he was finally rebuilding his image through music again. But even during the comeback, legal drama and controversy kept finding their way back into his life. One of the biggest situations involved his longtime falling out with former collaborator and close friend Jackboy. What started as online arguments, social media shots, and deleted posts slowly escalated into something far more serious than fans ever expected. Then in January 2023, tragedy struck after a Jackboy performance at a nightclub in Sanford, Florida. According to investigators, a van carrying 6 women leaving the venue was allegedly attacked in a drive-by incident involving armor-piercing rounds. A 31-year-old woman named Princess Tolliver lost her life, while several others were injured during the attack. After more than a year of investigation, the Seminole County Sheriff's Office announced multiple arrests connected to a gang investigation and publicly stated that the ongoing feud between Kodak and Jackboy was believed to be part of the motive investigators were examining behind the violence. The news stunned fans because what once looked like rap industry tension had now become connected to a heartbreaking real-world tragedy that changed lives forever. According to investigators, the people responsible allegedly went after the wrong vehicle entirely. Kodak himself was never charged in connection to the attack, but the situation still shocked people because it showed how a rap feud that started online had reportedly escalated into real-world violence that ended with an innocent woman losing her life. For many fans, it was a wake-up call, showing just how dangerous these industry conflicts can become once things spiral out of control. As the investigation continued, footage reportedly surfaced showing law enforcement questioning one of Kodak's associates about possible connections to people involved in the case. The clip spread online quickly because viewers felt they revealed just how tight the silence around the situation really was.
What's your affiliation to Kodak?
I don't have a affiliation with Kodak.
What's your affiliation to Kodak?
Investigators kept pressing for information, but the responses reportedly stayed the same throughout the questioning.
You want to talk about any of that?
I don't know what.
Okay. The gun that you threw. Where did you get the gun from?
What gun?
No matter how many questions were asked, authorities allegedly received little cooperation or useful information from the people they interviewed. The investigation still moved forward, but the footage became another viral talking point surrounding Kodak's name and the growing list of controversies tied to his circle. Meanwhile, Kodak was also dealing with civil legal pressure connected to the 2022 Super Bowl after-party incident where he was injured. Several people tied to that situation reportedly filed a $10 million lawsuit against him, claiming his actions during the party helped escalate the confrontation that later turned violent. Kodak's attorney strongly denied the claims and reportedly described the lawsuit as completely unreasonable. Then in March 2026, the plaintiffs officially dismissed the case without receiving a settlement, and reports stated the matter could not be refiled afterward. For Kodak, that outcome marked one of the few legal victories he had experienced during years filled with court battles, public scrutiny, and non-stop controversy. But even with that case behind him, another painful situation was already developing in his personal life. Through a highly public custody dispute involving his ex, Miranda Johnson later made serious public accusations against Kodak, including claims involving repeated violence during their relationship. One allegation that drew major attention involved her saying he injured her during an argument while she was pregnant with his child. However, no criminal charges were filed against Kodak connected to those specific allegations, and the situation quickly turned into a messy public dispute followed closely across blogs and social media. The conflict became even more chaotic when Johnson herself was later arrested at a courthouse during one of the hearings. Reports connected the arrest to allegations involving damage to Kodak's vehicles, adding even more tension to an already explosive situation. Fans watched the entire battle unfold publicly, while both sides faced intense online scrutiny and non-stop headlines. Eventually, in September 2025, the situation was resolved through a parenting agreement, and related legal disputes tied to the case were reportedly dismissed. But even after the legal side calmed down, the damage to Kodak's public image had already spread everywhere. At that point, it felt like every new controversy was piling on top of the last one faster than he could recover from any of them. Then the Boosie-Badazz feud added even more pressure. Beyond the public comments about substance use, Boosie also attacked Kodak's credibility and reputation in rap culture by bringing up rumors that Kodak allegedly entered protective custody during his federal prison sentence. In that world, accusations like that can seriously damage how an artist is viewed by peers and fans alike.
Mr. PC. You check PC, my nigga. Nothing you rap is valid anymore, bro.
Boosie kept doubling down publicly, questioning Kodak's respect and authenticity, while Kodak fired back through music and social media responses of his own. The back and forth quickly became another major internet spectacle tied to Yak's already chaotic public image and personal struggles. Kodak eventually responded to Boosie through music, throwing lines at him that suggested Boosie was jealous of his money, success, and staying power in the rap game. But by that point, the accusations and rumors Boosie pushed had already exploded across hip-hop blogs, live streams, and social media pages everywhere. Once those kinds of claims start spreading online, there's almost no way to fully pull them back. Another moment that perfectly showed Kodak's personality happened when a YouTuber approached him in public, asking to diamond test his jewelry on camera. Yak instantly shut the idea down and made it clear he was not letting anybody question the authenticity of what he wears. He compared testing his jewelry to disrespecting his pride, and the interaction quickly went viral because of how serious he was about it. That exchange revealed something important about Kodak underneath all the chaos. No matter how many legal problems, internet controversies, emotional breakdowns, or public struggles surrounded him, his pride and confidence never seemed to disappear. Even during the hardest moments, Yak still carried himself like somebody refusing to let the world see weakness for too long. And through all the court cases, feuds, addiction concerns, and non-stop headlines, one thing never changed. The music itself kept delivering results. Painting Pictures debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200, while Dying to Live eventually hit number 1. Zeze with Travis Scott and Offset became a massive hit and earned multi-platinum success, while Super Gremlin turned into one of the biggest cultural moments in rap during its peak. Kodak stacked platinum plaques, top charting albums, and hit records at a level many artists spend entire careers chasing, which made his constant self-destruction feel even more frustrating to fans watching it all unfold in real time. The talent was never the problem with Kodak Black. That part was obvious from the beginning. The real issue was that every time he started building serious momentum, another setback seemed to pull him right back down. Just as his career was reaching majors, commercial heights, the federal prison sentence stopped everything cold, tours got cancelled, huge collaborations slipped away, and project releases kept getting delayed while other artists from his era kept leveling up without interruption. Back in 2017, Kodak's name was mentioned alongside rappers who later built massive business empires and dominated the streaming era. Meanwhile, Yak's journey became a constant cycle of court dates, rehab programs, probation issues, internet controversies, and public concern. Over time, the image around him shifted from future rap superstar to one of hip-hop's most troubled talents, and every new headline only pushed that narrative even further. Still, through all the chaos, fans continue rooting for Kodak because they know how much talent he really has underneath all the drama. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this with somebody following the story, and drop your thoughts in the comments below.